What's up, people? Welcome, y'all. This is going to be an informational series of personality development. This series is about financial literacy. How many of us are financially literate? The Standard and Poor's survey from 2014 found that over 76% of adults in India didn't comprehend financial planning basics. So it is true that many of us do not know and we are not taught in our schools. Okay, let's move on to the how to become successful. How to become rich, the easy version. Inherit from your rich parents. It's supposed to be a joke. Or if you're dead, well, good for you. You wouldn't need some of the following steps. However, the fact of the matter is that many who became overnight millionaires tend to be bankrupt after a few years because of the poor choices they made due to financial illiteracy. How often have we seen celebrities, sports stars, actors who have become bankrupt over the years? They were super rich when they were on their prime, but have had to file for bankruptcy. They have had to sell their trophies, their awards in auctions to stay afloat. Let's say Boris Becker. He won the Wimbledon multiple times, but he had to sell some of his stuff to be back on track. Let's say Mike Tyson. He was a very successful, world renowned boxer, but he had completely bankrupt. He had to come back from the scratch. So he is building his wealth from the scratch. So if it were true, most of the billionaires today would have inherited from their parents. But it is not true. So most of the billionaires, the current richest, are the ones who have built that wealth themselves. So they are all self-made billionaires. So that is the stat. So 85% of the current billionaires are all self-made. Only 15% of them are the ones who have inherited from their parents. Catch them young, they say. This is not a must trait because for many of us, age is just a number. But cultivating an habit at an young age helps a lot, and with an younger age and limited responsibilities and liabilities, the probability of becoming wealthy is higher. For those who are not in their 20s and 30s, do not get disheartened. It is never too late. So let's move on to the actual steps. Step number 1, get yourself a job. This sounds very cheesy, but the fact of the matter is, every billionaire worked their way up. So if they did it, you can also do it. And it certainly helps to have an understanding of the real world as opposed to inheriting free money. And you make conscious decisions on your hard-earned money. So if you already have a job, kudos to you. You've done a good job so far. You must have a growth mindset also. Do not get stagnated on your routine job, which is comfortable, but comfort is the killer, they say. Say no, challenge yourself to be great. Do not get too attracted to the boss or the company. Do what is best for yourself. Keep learning, keep upskilling, have a career graph, and you must excel to have a high paying job. Find what you are good at and improve your high paying skill sets. Excel in it. So it could be a software development, financial consulting, affiliate marketing, sales, YouTube, content creation, whatever be it, upskill yourself. And as they say, money is not evil. Have an abundance mindset. Do not act like a victim. It is a tool to liberate yourself from the day-to-day needs. So you have passed the first step. Good. So let's move on to the step number 2. Spend after saving. So 40 to 50% of whatever you earn must go into your long-term goals. And the first dream killer is the credit card. So if you have aspirations to get credit cards, do not get into the trap of consumption, EMIs and no cost EMIs, attractive offers, vouchers and all of that. And try to spend as much as using your physical cash. And people will often tell you that it is important to have a credit worthiness to get loans. But the financially literate and the rich will probably tell you otherwise. Buy stuff off of your investment income, not from borrowing. So learn to budget. Your expenses shouldn't exceed 40%. So do not buy a car and a 3-bedroom apartment in EMI because people tell you house is an asset, which is not necessarily true always. So don't be egoistic. Do not compete with your friends. It's not a race to poverty. It will eventually happen when you are ready to handle those life commitments. You can't skip the stages towards financial freedom. People might call you a miser, but living below the means is the road to financial independence. Doesn't mean you have to live cheap, but being frugal is a mindset. So step number 3. You have your emergency fund of 6 months money saved. Once you have a 6 months worth of expenses saved, buy yourself a nice car. No, I'm just kidding. We are not there yet. Get yourself a term insurance if you are the breadwinner for your family. Get yourself and your dependents medical cover. Don't scramble for the umbrella on a rainy day. You have to pay your insurance monthly because life is not going to tell you when you would need it. If you think it is not necessary, well, you would have to dig into your long term expenses. Well, that's not very smart. Set yourself for goals for life events. You can't save your marriage for after 60. So it's okay to have goals. But being planned is smart. Have life events expenses planned out ahead to meet them when there is the need, as opposed to taking personal loans at very high interest rates. Similarly, for car and house mortgage, so if you have to and it's a must to buy it because it's a good property, unless you have 60 to 70% of the down payment, so do not go for loans, and you must pay off the loans within a couple of years. So now that you are debt free, you can move on to the step 4. Nobody ever became a millionaire by working a 9 to 5 job. So am I contradicting to the first point? No. Job is required to generate savings and build a capital. But having money sitting idle is not a very good thing, is it? If your money doesn't work for you when you are sleeping, you are not going to make it. So you have to keep growing your money. All your money, apart from your emergency liquid fund, needs to generate wealth. It needs to generate interest at a compounding rate. So that after 10 to 15 years, when you actually plan to retire, you have a nest egg to fall back onto, considering you wouldn't be having a regular income at that age. We will discuss more on investing in future episodes. And you must keep hustling, keep yourself busy, do part-time jobs, keep upskilling yourself, keep yourself updated with the know-how of the latest and greatest. Become an entrepreneur, be independent and self-employed. And the next stage is to build multiple income streams. So if you're a content creator, you must have patents, you must have IP rights, you must have royalty money coming in. So all of that is part of your passive income. So we'll discuss more on the income streams in a different episode. So retirement doesn't mean sitting at home. You have earned yourself your financial freedom. You wouldn't need to do much and your passive incomes are enough to meet your regular expenses. So that's the rule of 4%. If you have energy and age to work further, push yourself for financial abundance, where you can go on those vacations you have dreamt of, you can build those birdhouses that you have always promised you would build someday. It is life giving you back the time for you to follow your heart and passion if you weren't already doing it as part of your full-time job or while you are hustling. So that's it. You have made great progress. So if you follow these rules, you can too become successful. But what is success? Success is a relative term. It is having the liberty to have one or more of the following: wealth abundance, health abundance, or time abundance. Following the mentioned step doesn't make you a Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates, but it will ensure you do not end up without dignity. Having the freedom to have a dignified retirement is your choice than having to live on government funded social security or depending on the next generation. You owe it to yourself and your generations to not be a liability but an asset.